name is Kurtis Chapman and I'm the UK's youngest professional wrestler. I got into wrestling about 3 years ago when my friend was really into it at the time, and he went down to a training school in Portsmouth and he dragged me along to it, and I loved it. I've been going ever since. I had my first match after about 1.5 years and I lost it, but it was a really good experience. I was really nervous for it and I think it's helped me a lot. At the moment I train twice a week and I go to the gym 3 or 4 times a week, so a lot of my time is taken up by training for wrestling. I'd always spend one day doing chest sort of stuff, so bench press, any weights I can get basically, and there's always one day for my legs as well, so lots of squatting and just any machines that help my leg as well. We usually train in the morning for about 3 hours or so, and then we'll all head down to the show, set up the ring, set up the chairs, set up everything that needs setting up, and then we'll just chill out backstage until it's our time for a match. Sometimes I've had to sacrifice a lot of my free time for going to shows or training and other stuff. Like, I don't see my friends very much because I'm training, but it's all good.
My favourite match was him against Dan the Man McGee. The favourite move that he does is probably his octopus stretch, where he basically sits on the person's back and then lifts their arm up. And that looks really cool. And I like it when he does lots of flippy stuff as well, so he flips onto the opponents and stuff like that.
I always get nervous. It's less so now than when I first started, but it's still there, yeah. Once at training, I took a knock on the nose and broke it. And I had to sit out for like 6 weeks. I was quite far behind everyone else when I first came back, but I just trained really hard and I caught up with everyone, I think. For the company that I work for at the moment, they do lots of trainee shows in the south, and I was on those like every time for months and months and months. And then recently they put me on one of their bigger shows in London, and I won that match, so that's probably a really proud moment for me. I feel like I'm not a trainee anymore, whereas before it sometimes felt like I still was. I only broke into that company the beginning of last year, but then as I went through that year, I won every match there. They had an awards ceremony at the end of the year, like a mini awards ceremony. They had their fans voting for who they wanted to be the best wrestler of the year, the best newcomer of the year, and I ended up winning best newcomer of the year. So that was quite a big deal to me. I really enjoyed that. One of my favourite wrestlers is probably Rey Mysterio, because some of the stuff he does in the ring is just crazy. The techniques he uses and the way he flies through the air is just unbelievable sometimes. It's really cool. And back in December 2014, a famous wrestler called Brodus Clay came over, and I thought he'd just be wrestling in like a singles match against someone big. He ended up being my tag team partner for the day, and that was really good fun, and we went and won the match, and it was really good hanging out with him for the day. Yeah, it was good fun. He was throwing people all over the place, and then I ended up climbing on top of his shoulders and then jumping off of him onto someone else for the win. So that was quite scary, but it worked. It feels amazing, yeah.
When he's against people a lot bigger than him, then it is quite scary, but usually I enjoy it a lot more now than I used to, whereas I used to sit there much more nervous.
We all have our own like specific theme music as well, so hearing that play and then walking backstage afterwards is always really uplifting. Mine is the song for the Karate Kid, Best Around, because I'm the best around. So everyone at my training school at the moment is working really hard because our company's got a lot more shows coming up this year that everyone's trying to get on. So we've got shows at the Portsmouth Guildhall and loads coming up in London that everyone's trying to prove that they belong on. So we're all trying to be the best wrestlers we can be just to get on these shows, and it's quite a good time for wrestling at the moment. No, I've never felt like giving it up. When you lose, it just gives you more motivation to try harder next time and train harder.